host, DJ Crowley here, and Blue is in the house, of course, too. It's been a minute since we've done some interviews. As you all may know or may not know, our beloved radio station, WTK, owned by the University of Tennessee, Knoxville, decided to give us the big orange screw, like we call it, and kick all of the specialty shows out of the building after 15, 20, even 25 years of doing the show. And we dealt with that. But now we have a new station, WOZO 103.9, new family. And speaking of new family, man, we're so stoked for this one. John, 2 Minute Pod, Beach Fly. What is going on, my brother?
What's up, dude? I'm really stoked to be here, man. I've been watching your show for a long time. I love what you guys do. This is an honor to be here. I had no idea about the radio station change. I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad you guys are still going, and I'm glad to be here.
Hey, man, thank you so much. You know, the name of the game, especially in our little family and what we do, is figure it out. The show
Yeah.
must go on, period. And we are so stoked to have you. This is going to be a very special one. All of our interviews are super unique and very special. This one's going to be extremely special and unique as, John does kind of what we do. And he's also a beautifully, amazingly, gorgeously talented musician, which we didn't know. But we're going to talk about all that in just a second. I want to kick it off here. Where in the world did you come from? Tell us about yourself.
I've honestly, I've been watching and listening and being a fan of reggae music my whole life. Like, I grew up here in Florida on the East Coast, and I can just remember like my earliest memories going like on surf trips with my friends, like my friends' dads driving us or my dad driving us to like different places. And on the radio, all that was playing was like Stick Figure, Pepper, Iration, all the classics, Slightly Stupid, Sublime, of course. So for my whole childhood, reggae music and kind of like beach pop adjacent music, that was what I grew up on. And I'm a surfer and I love the ocean, grew up by the beach. So it's always been a big part of my life. But honestly, it wasn't until like I think it's been about 2 years now ago that I started to try to do something with it. And my first entry with that was my 2 minute podcast. And yeah, so I had this idea this one night just to think like, man, I see all these podcast clips on Instagram. And I was like, let me try to start a podcast. Nobody wants to watch long form podcasts, it seems like, because it's like nobody's got time nowadays. So what if I made it really quick? And that was how the idea for the 2 minute podcast kind of formed. I was like, what if I just did like a really fast, quick podcast? And I started just interviewing some of my friends. Shout out to my friend Trey. He has this really cool clothing brand where I'm at. It's called G-Bed, stands for Get Better Every Day. Really dope, dope company making really cool apparel. And I interviewed him first, and then a couple other friends. And the first guy that I kind of got that was from the scene was K-Bong. Shout out to K-Bong. Incredible, incredible human being. And he was another one that I was a big fan of from before doing any of this. And I bugged him. I bugged him for a long time. It probably took like 10 emails of just reaching out. And he was really cool about it and was like, yeah, I'll give you a shot. And I had nothing. I had not done anybody in the scene yet. He had no reason to really like believe in me. So I'm really grateful for that moment when K-Bong first came on the show. And from that moment, it's taken a really cool kind of grassroots growth from it. And, from getting K-Bong on, that opened a lot of doors. And yeah, now we're here. It's been
Hey,
it's been a crazy ride for sure.
and the ride is not over, man. If you're just tuning in, you're late. It's all good. We got John, 2 Minute Podcast, Beach Fly in the house, fresh on the scene, coming with the heat in both directions from doing interviews and chatting with artists to being an artist. We're going to talk about your project, obviously, in just a little bit, but I do want to dive a little bit more into this 2 minute podcast. Like I said earlier,
Sure. Yeah.
it's so dope to have another homie holding down the interviews in our scene. Like, this is reggae music is not baseball or football. There's no competition. You know what I mean? The family is always better together. So we are always, always, always stoked to see somebody like you coming out here and being like, you know what? I love this. And you have everybody's got their own unique way of doing things. You talking about the long form compared to the short form is such a huge thing. That's your deal. That sets you apart. It's called the 2 minute podcast. Um, I say
Sure, yeah.
my motto is it's not an interview, it's a conversation. You gotta, in my opinion, you gotta love the artist or have some kind of real deep connection to make the
Hmm.
right stuff happen in an interview. How do you go about your interviews? Tell us about it.
Yeah, that's such a good point. Like I said, I've loved these artists that I've gotten the privilege and chance to interview for so long. Like they've been a huge part of my life. So getting the opportunity to interview some of my heroes, like, and I just interviewed Kalea Washington of Pepper, like that was my jam when I was a kid. Like I remember just listening to old Pepper records for a long time when I was younger, and like so to be able to get and like sit down and talk to these guys, it really is a privilege and an honor, and I'm super grateful that somehow it's spiraled into this place now where I can do it, and it's super cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I try to go in and like you said, I love this stuff, so I'm like a fan at heart. It's my biggest thing. I love this stuff, so do a lot of research, and generally I already have a lot of things that I would love to just like pick these artists' brains about songs that I love that I want to like hear. How did you produce that thing? How did you do this? Or parts about their journeys. Like I genuinely want to know. So generally it comes easy. I try to do a lot of research and hit some good points, and then we record. And like you said, I love that philosophy. I love that having a conversation. Try to keep it natural and flowing, and then see what happens. Cut it down to
Yeah.
2 minutes after.
Yeah, man. And
Yeah.
talking about, you know, you started with K-Bong, and then you've grown from there. It's opened so many doors. Wait, you're starting to get to actually meet and know these artists and become family, like more than just an acquaintance with these artists. The more you get to know them, the deeper, the realer the conversations are going to get. Wait till you get to these second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh time you interview these bands. It gets incredibly powerful. You can go so
Yeah.
much deeper. I mean, it's wild, and you were very right. If for some reason you've not met these people before, you better do your damn homework. I mean, that's part of it. And you know, there's not a whole lot of interviews out there for most of the bands in our scene. There's 4 or 5 people doing them, and
Hmm.
it can be rare. So you can also have that opportunity to get the first interview an artist has ever done.
I think it's really special to be able to show like a little behind the scenes look. And I know a lot of people love these guys, and these artists they are doing magic. They are spreading positivity into the world, and they are healing us, and music is a healing thing, and they're creating experiences with their shows and experiences through their music that are changing lives. And so to be able to show a little off of their behind the scenes presence, and also spread a little positivity through the interview, I think it's really a privilege, and it's a cool thing for sure.
So what draws you to an artist now? You've done a few, a few more than a few. You've done a bunch of really great ones. What draws you to somebody? What's grabbing you right now?
Definitely first, I guess it's just like a gut thing. I don't know if I think too much about it. I mean, obviously it's been incredible to be able to get to interview some of my heroes. That's just like a cool like my inner child like bucket list sort of thing. That's been great. But I guess first of all, it has to come down to the music. Like I love if I love somebody's music, makes the interview easy, and obviously I'd love to talk to them and get to chat. And all these artists, I love their music. I love K-Bong's music. K-Bong's music has been such a positive force on my life, and so getting to interview him was amazing. Love Pepper's music, Iration's music, Cass Haley's music. All these artists have something special, something unique, and so I want to get that and try to showcase it in the 2 minutes that I got with them. Yeah.
You are beyond the right track, my friend. Yeah, you are. I can feel your energy, and you have the right mindset with this thing. If you do not love this, you don't have a passion for this, then there's a Uber or a taxi that can take you somewhere else and
Sure,
do
right, yeah.
something else.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, man. Who's blowing you away right now, man? There's so many new cats on the scene, uh, that have just blown me away, like Claire. We're going to be
yeah.
reaching out with we'll talk about that. We're going to talk to you about Claire. There's so many.
So many.
Who's blowing you away right now, man?
So many dudes. I love this question. This is great. I would love to talk about who I love. So, first of all, I gotta say Carter from Surfer Girl.
Ding ding
He
ding ding
is
ding 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 ding
ding
ding
ding
ding
ding.
ding 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 ding.
God, what a legend. He's
Oh my.
crushing it right now. He is absolutely
Mm,
crushing it.
mm.
And we could talk, I could talk for days about Carter. He is an incredible human being and he has changed my life in so many ways. I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for Carter. I wouldn't be doing this music thing if it wasn't for Carter. I love Carter Reeves. He's an amazing human. And if you haven't heard Surfer Girls music, you got to go check it out because they are doing really cool things in the scene. They're taking music that's, we have reggae music and there's beach pop music and there's all these kind of adjacent fields, but they all have this cool, like, beach pop chilling by the sunset on the beach. There you go. Oh my God, dude. Wait. Let me hit you up too.
Mm.
I got you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh
baby.
yeah. Oh
Sunriseception.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh oh
Oh, oh,
oh
oh.
oh.
Actually, wait, wait.
Oh, he's got me beat. You
No, no, I
know
don't.
you
I just
do
have
not.
two of these.
Oh, I love you, John. Oh man,
Bro,
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but like, dude,
I love it.
one real
Nice
quick,
little sunrise break.
can we get you've reached the end of side one for good vibes. Turn the record over. Let's give a shout out to Carter and Brittany and the whole gang. We love you, Surfer Girl. One, two, three. We love you, Surfer. One,
Love
two,
you, Silver
three.
Girl.
We love you, Surfer.
You.
Dude.
100%, dude. 100%. Yeah.
So
This guy's
good
a legend.
start. Good start.
Yes. Great start. He's doing great things. He is, like I said, changing my life. He's taking me on tour right now. He's been a big brother for me, a mentor for me, somebody that's been helping me navigate this crazy world of music. And yeah, I just got so much love for him. The whole team, everybody that he works with. And the music's incredible, not just a great human being, but also creating some of my favorite music in the scene because I definitely enjoy a lot of different genres and he blends a lot of the genres that I like. And he brings in that beach pop kind of funness and then also a little bit of hip hop, a little bit of like maybe R&B sometimes. So really love his music. Absolute legend. I'd have to put that at number one, but you can't give spots. You can't give spots. I love so many other artists. Claire
I
Wright,
know.
killing it.
Yeah.
She's bringing this fun beach vibe too. This like kind of almost country inspired because I know she spent some time in Nashville sort
Hmm.
of vibe to the scene. And she's just, you put on a record of hers and you just want to chill and sit by the beach. I think her record's called Setting Out for the Sun. It's like perfect. And to be able to gotten her on a song and us to create together was another freaking dream come true.
Hmm.
Love Claire. Love Claire. She's incredible. Who else am I digging? Man, there's so many artists. It's hard to choose. It's hard to choose. Johnny Cosmic. He just dropped a new record. He just dropped new records and it's incredible. He has this one track on there.
12
It's like
minutes
9 minutes
long.
long.
Yep.
A
Yep.
12.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. And he just
Dude.
goes off on that and it's so good. I love where the scene's at. I mean, obviously started with Sublime and since then there's been a lot of different bands and it's on an upwards trajectory. There's more and more bands coming in and doing their own thing. I'm honored to maybe be a little part of that and hopefully make my little dent too. But this like it's a beautiful thing to see the scene growing. And at the end of the day, the scene is about love and family and connection. So to see that all happening is really special and I love to see it.
You are a winner. That's the correct answers. You got all the correct
Ah,
answers. A couple others, man. I'll shout right back at you. The Hip Abduction. I've known those guys
yes.
for going on 8 to 10 years now, and watched them, build and grow and grow. And
So good. So
something
good.
has happened on since this year. Something magical is happening for them. I don't know if you noticed this past tour that they just got done with Coyote Island, which is another one that's
There you
super
go.
dope. That's one
Great
that's
boys over there.
super, super dope. We need to chat with them actually. Mental note.
Love Coyote.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the hip, I don't know if you guys knew, but they sold out, I think, every show except for one or two on this last
They're
tour.
crushing it right now. They're crushing it right
I'm
now. We got the honor to play with them at Camp Redwood. Sorry to cut you off there, but
Oh
like
no, you're
they are
fine.
so good And Coyote Island is incredible as well. We
Yeah.
get to tour with them coming up, and we couldn't be more stoked about it. Not only are they really great musicians and making amazing music, their live performance is incredible. Blew me away. First time I saw them live was at Camp Redwoods.
Yeah.
Really, they're just so tight and they're having such a good time up there. And on top of all that, they are great people, like all of
Yeah.
them. Really
Matt's
great guys.
Matt Pointer said, hip production Matt said
Yeah,
that their lodge show was the best show that's ever rocked a lodge at Camp Redwoods.
it was
Uh,
fire. So
yeah,
good. Yeah.
yeah. He keeps telling me, he's like, dude, they are just so amazing. Their guitar player is a beast. I
Amir.
mean, a
Shout out to Amir.
beast, man.
Love
That
that guy.
Sugar Shack. I mean, just watching him, he's just one of those people. It's just natural. It's just like, boom, got
Yeah.
this. Yeah, man. Who I mean, Little
Whole band.
Stranger.
Ryan, Garrett.
You can't leave Little Stranger out of the equation right now. What they're doing, how hard they've worked, just absolutely amazing what they're doing. That stick tour was massive to say the least. I'm so happy. You know, you bring up a good point. The scene is really thriving. There's so much new energy coming in, along with veterans that are finally getting the recognition that they deserve. It's
100%.
it's such, and I got to give a big shout out to Stick and Scott and the whole Stick crew and Thomas and what Stick's doing for the scene right now. Some people are like, oh yeah, he's blowing up. Yeah, he's doing this, but he's also, what you may not realize is he is uh, introducing this music to thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of new listeners every day. And that
Yeah.
is so effing massive. Um, but yeah,
100%, dude.
it's
Yeah.
it's so cool, man.
You
So
got the collaborations with Jack Johnson and
oh yeah,
Sublime. Like, that is bringing a big audience to the scene. So much love to Scott and Thomas, the whole Ineffable crew. I got to meet them recently and it was crazy. Wild.
Scott's Scott's
Such
a
good guys.
Scott's a wonderful person. I will tell you this, but the interview will never see the light of day. But back in 2013, I think I did his first or second ever interview, and we did it on the bus in Atlanta, and they were on the Pacifier tour, and we did an interview, and it will never see the light of day ever.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, he doesn't do interviews. No, yeah.
We've been talking about it. He's one of those. He's like, we're gonna do it, but I'll give you a shout. He's a
Yeah, he
little
would.
busy
Yeah.
in Croatia right now.
I know. I saw his Instagram stories. He's vibing out there.
Yeah,
Looks
man.
beautiful where he's at. It's just like the bluest water. Every time I
Yeah,
open his Instagram stories, having a good time. Yeah, Scott's a legend. No, I would love to have him on the show as well. That's like my top dream. But he doesn't love doing interviews. I get it. It's his
John,
thing.
you never know, man. You're doing the right thing. Hey, if you guys are just tuning in, you are late, LATE, late. DJ Crowley and Blue in the house with John, 2 Minute Pod, as well as a band called Beach Fly. So not only are you a super power interviewer, but this just blew me away, man. When you released that first track, man. I was like, okay, John. Okay. Okay. Where's he's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve, man. Uh I
Thank you, dude. Thank you.
I'm gonna let you talk about Beachfly real quick, and then we're gonna talk about Camp Redwoods and your performance.
Heck yeah. Those are two of my favorite topics, dude. Well, I'll tell you a story that involves both those things, both Camp Redwoods and Beachfly, because they're very intimately connected. It's how we got our start was at Camp Redwoods. It was it was 2 years ago, and I had seen that the Camp Redwoods Festival was happening, and the lineup was stacked. It was a lot of artists that I loved: K Bong, Johnny Cosmic, Hip Abduction, Surfer Girl, Vanalia, just to name a few. And I was like, man, I'd really love to get out here and just do some interviews, get some in person 2 minute podcast interviews. I think that'd be really cool. get some stuff under the redwood trees. This would be like a vibe. It would be a dream. So I reach out to the organizers of Camp Navarro, specifically Dan Braun, absolute legend. Shout out to Dan, incredible human being. And I'm like, hey man, I see that you guys are throwing this festival. Looks really cool. I do this podcast thing. It's called the 2 Minute Podcast. Is there any chance I could come out and hang out and do some interviews? And they were super cool about it. They were like, yes, let's do it. They hooked us up. And so we make plans to fly out there. And now, like, literally, and I kid you not, a week before we go out, we're hanging in my other hometown where my dad's from, which is in Brigantine, New Jersey. And we kind of reconnect with this old friend, Sven. And he's like, man, I've been just like playing some music lately. I've been jamming some congas. And we're like, okay, dude, we've been kind of just playing and having fun too. Why don't you come on over? And that same night, he's like, yes, let's do it. Comes on over. We do a little jam. And I had been writing some songs for a little bit, but just kind of for fun, I had a guitar, like just played some music, maybe some with some friends at a campfire, bust something out. Definitely wasn't taking it seriously. But we did this jam together, and it was just there was something magical about it. There was an energy and a spirit between us three that really worked out. Me, Pops, and Sven. And it was like we kind of noticed it right then, like, wow, this is kind of cool. Like just us jamming together to find something this special just in the living room, right, of my house. Like this is kind of cool. And we're like, hey man, we're going out to this Redwoods thing. I'm doing interviews. I know you like this similar kind of music. Would you want to come hang with us? I got like an extra ticket. Dan's hooking us up. And he's like, sure, man, I'd love to. Let's do it. And Sven's a really cool guy like that, that he will just say yes to stuff, and he will go for it. And that's how the band formed, was him saying yes and saying yes to going to Redwoods. And so we fly out there, all us three, and I'm doing my interviews, having a great time. This is an incredible place. You've been there, you know it. You know how special that place is, how magical it is. It's like
Magical.
if anybody out there hasn't been there, I
You're
almost don't
late.
want to blow it up because it's such like a cool little secret spot. But it really is such a special place. It's like it's nestled in the middle of the redwoods forest, and to get there you have to drive down like 3 hours of roads from San Francisco, and you slowly lose cell service, and you go out and there's like less and less civilization, and then it like pops out, it appears, and it's like there is a festival in the middle of the redwoods, and it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. You have these redwood trees surrounding you, and they're huge, they're giant, they're like massive. You could drive cars through some of them,
Hmm.
and they're most importantly there's this energy there of just peace and serenity. And it's a really special vibe that I can't even put into words, but as soon as you get out the car there, you know that there's something special going on. So us three and a couple of my other friends, we pull up and we're feeling this vibe, we're feeling this love. Meet Dan, he's an incredible person. Meet some of these artists. And the cool thing about this festival is it's like it's very open concept. So you can run into your favorite artist using the bathroom. Like
Hmm.
it's the same bathroom, same showers, like because you're in the middle of nowhere. So you eat together, you do everything together. Really
Correct.
cool vibe there. And so, I'm doing these interviews. They're going incredibly, having like the time of our lives. And then this is where Beachfly starts to come in. We find out that this festival has these campfires that happen after like the main set, after the main artist is done on the main stage. There's a campfire kind of in the middle of the whole campground, and everybody goes there. It can be like 100 people, 150 people around this campfire. And it's just like an open concept, like let's have some fun. Back to like being in camp as a kid. Everybody there is free. They're doing their own thing. You're not worrying about work. You're not worrying about the stresses of life. You're there to have fun and heal and relax. And so the vibes around these campfires were really, really, really cool. And after doing interviews one day, we went over there, me, Pops, and Sven, and we sat down. And I just remember some of this is a blur to me. This was a crazy moment. I started playing my music, some of the music that we had been jamming in the living room, and I had never really performed for people other than like some friends at a campfire or something. So I was nervous, and there was a lot of people there, and so I just closed my eyes, and I remember singing the song with my eyes closed because I didn't want to look out at other people looking at me, and I finished singing the song, and it was Thinking of You, like an early version of Thinking of You, and like everybody like had turned to us while we were playing it, and they were like into it, and they were vibing with it, and they like were smiling and clapping. I was like, whoa, this is insane. I didn't expect that. I was kind of like nervous about it, but everyone there is so incredible, and they just showed us a lot of love. So like we continued and we kept playing some music, and I finished the set. It went incredibly. Shout out to all the people at Camp Navarre. It's such a great vibe there. They were so welcoming and loving and supporting. and we played. That was like our first set as like I guess a quote unquote band, if you want to call it that. But
Mhm.
the cool thing about that was that Carter from Surfer Girl was there, and he we had just done an interview, and we were really getting along, and it was incredible because this guy's like my hero. I've loved him for so long, loved the music, loved the mission that he was doing. So to be able to get along in person and really become friends, he's such a genuine human being, was really cool. And I felt that during our interview, like it was a really good vibe. And
Mhm.
then he was there at the campfire, and he saw us playing music, and him being the really cool dude that he is, and Johnny Cosmic was there. They were super gracious, and man, even just telling the story really kind of it gets me a little emotional because it's like that was a day like when my life really changed. Like
Oh man.
I was planning to go a totally different path in my life, but I had this passion for this sort of music, and I was doing these podcasts, and now like after playing those songs there, that was like a moment. Carter kind of was like, man, I thought that was pretty good, and I was dude, he thinks it's pretty good. That is freaking nuts. Like, I
Mhm.
I love your stuff. Like, you heard my music and you think it's cool. Like, it was just a wild moment. And Johnny Cosmic as well. And they had shown some interest in like my weekend was made. My life was made for the rest of that weekend. I couldn't wipe a smile off my face. Like my heroes had noticed some music that I was doing. It was crazy. It was wild, Alex. Like it was one of the I'd say top three moments of my life, if not top one. Like just really wild. And uh, and from that moment, afterwards we're on the drive home after a rest of an incredible weekend hanging with so many incredible people that are there, and Carter like Sven. All right, this is a crazy story. Sven ends up driving home with Carter from San Francisco to LA, which is like a 6 hour drive. But Sven needed to get to LA because he was helping a friend with a paddleboarding contest that she was doing, going out to Catalina Island out there. And
Mhm.
so he gets in the car with Carter, and over the drive, they got to talking, and Carter offers to produce our first songs. He was incredibly gracious and kind, and was like, "Man, I think you guys got something, and I wanna make your music." And like, I got the call with that info, and I was like, freaking mind blown. But
Mhm.
yeah, long story short, to bring it all together, like 2 months later, we were on a plane going back out to LA to hang out with Carter in his incredible studio, his really cozy place in LA, super dope vibes. And we created our first songs. We created Thinking of You, Crazy, and a third one called Tall Grass, which isn't out yet. It's actually featuring Carter. And
Oh, I
whoa,
heard about that, John. I heard about that.
I know, cat's out of the bag. Cat's out of the bag. That's wild. The fact that not only did he, choose to go out of his way and help us with nothing to produce the stuff, but we had this song called Tall Grass, and I was like, man, there's this bridge section. What do you think about like maybe doing a verse on it? And he was like, yeah, I love it. Let's do it. I'm vibing with the track. And we were just like mind blown. Couldn't believe it. Incredible. Like we spent all this time with him and really became friends and made these songs, created together. It was my first time really like being in a studio and like doing the whole thing. And I really fell in love with it then. And I kind of decided that this is a path that I really want to direct my life into. And, thank the universe, thank God that these stars have aligned the way they did. But now I'm getting the ability to wake up every morning and create music and interview artists I love. And I'm really going all in. I'm trying to make it happen. I love this stuff. I love the positivity that's in reggae music, the love that's within the fan base, within the community, with what you're doing, with what everybody's doing, Sugar Shack, all the adjacent, this whole scene is an incredible place to be. And yeah, I feel blessed and honored that the stars have aligned in this way, and I get to do this. But yeah, here we are. We got Beach Fly. We're trying to make some good reggae kind of Jack Johnson inspired songs. We love the beach. We love the ocean. So always gonna have those sort of vibes in the music, and we're trying to leave a positive impact.
You are so in our book, man. You are the epitome of what we look for with family within our scene. Everything you're saying is so magical. Um, I had a feeling that Camp Redwoods was where uh, the Fly Beach came into fruition,
Yeah.
but I didn't know the whole story. Speaking of Camp Redwoods, Dan has something to say to you, Mr. Braun.
Oh, really?
He says the love runs deep for John and Beach Fly. John
Wow.
is the poster child for the good things that can come when combining inspiration, initiative, talent, purpose, and of course, love. John went from some random guy cold calling me to doing a podcast at last year's Camp Redwoods to now a star in the making at that fest with his campfire jams and good natured personality to returning for Camp Redwoods 3 this year to debut his new band, Beachfly. We are all excited to watch him blossom, and what makes me smile the most is to now call him a friend.
Oh my God. That almost brings a tear to my eye, man. Wow, it does. Holy shit. I'm sorry. Wow.
And you
I love
know,
Dan.
I keep hearing all these things.
Shit, I didn't mean to get
We
emotional on
know
this
people
podcast, man.
here at
Damn
the
it.
Simmer Down Radio
Damn it.
program, so you best believe we're gonna make you
Oh,
cry.
oh, dude. Oh my God. That's the sweetest message I've ever heard. Holy smokes.
Well, he's one of the sweetest people in the
Ah,
world, you know.
wow.
Guys, if you're out there and you haven't heard of Camp Duction, Camp Redwoods, Camp Navarro, Camp Deep End, get out to the Redwood Forest, man. You were talking about this earlier. Like, I don't want to. It's kind of a secret spot, but honestly, Dan told us he's like I'm never going to let it go over a certain cap. So
Mhm.
don't ever
Right.
worry about that. Just make sure you get your tickets before they're gone because this
Yeah.
thing is, I mean, it's you got Cali roots, you've got Cali vibes, which used to be One Love. You got Reggae Rise Up, the series that's now like 18 of them. You've got Levitate, you got the big ones. Uh, Camp Redwoods is one of those now,
Yeah,
for
a
sure.
100%. And
Yeah,
wow, I
it's
gotta
amazing.
say another shout out to Dan. What a sweet message. And he's been one of the huge parts of Beachfly becoming anything, and believing in us from the beginning. He took notice of what happened around the campfire and was incredibly gracious to invite us back the second year we just played there. It was a crazy full circle moment, right? From first cold calling and cold outreach to him, and he was kind of like, "Who's this guy reaching out to me?" And we had a funny laugh about that, like, because I definitely go for it in the emails, and it took
What you
it
got to do.
took a couple times before we really connected to then like really becoming great friends. He's such a genuine soul, and he cares about the festival, and he genuinely also is a fan. You'll catch him out there in the crowd dancing with everybody,
Mhm.
having a good time. It's the coolest thing to see. And he loves the scene, he loves the people, and that's you can tell as a visitor to the festival the care that's put into it. I know that he meticulously even crafts things down to the set list time, exactly what the vibes are. He is a curator with amazing taste, and so that it's even more special the fact that after everything happened, he invited us to come play. And actually, this time as an official artist, like we're on the poster. Like to see our name Beachfly on a poster is like
I know.
crazy, mind blowing thing. You already know I got that thing up on the wall. It's gonna stay there for a while. It was like our first thing that we played, and it was crazy. It was such good vibes. It was an amazing time. And so yeah, it was a really beautiful full circle moment. Got a lot of love for Dan and Camp Navarro and everybody there, all the fans that are there. If you're
Yeah.
watching this, thank you. I appreciate you.
And special shout out to Must Have Media, the homies over there, catching all the vibes, man. We watched your set the other day, and I watched you come up there, and you just did your thing, and it was so good, dude. It was
Oh, thanks,
so
man.
good. It's
I was nervous. I was
Oh, I
really
know. I
nervous.
could tell.
Yeah.
I could tell. But dude, if you don't know this, I've got a project called The Islands. Blue's got Blue Beat Productions and
hmm
his whole thing. He's going to be working with this amazing singer, Tess. We'll chat more about that on personal time.
Okay.
But I've only gotten up, to play my music in front of a crowd, one time, and I'm just about done with the first record. Um,
Nice, dude.
the
Congrats.
the kahunas it takes, thank you, to get up there and play. It ain't easy. It ain't
Definitely
easy.
some butterflies every
Yeah.
time. And a cool thing I've noticed about talking to all these guys that are my heroes, like everybody goes through the same thing and it's always there. Like talking to these guys that I look up to that are rock stars. They go up and play amphitheaters with 15,000 people or more, and talk to them, and they're like, "Yeah, I still get like the butterflies. I still got to do the pre-show poop before I go on stage." And I'm like, I'm like, wow, they're all
PSP, baby,
humans,
I'll be
you know.
back.
It's true. Right before something about the
Feeling
nerves, but
that.
like something about the nerves, it brings it out. But yeah, it's it's a nerve-wracking experience, but it's a beautiful experience to be able to go up there. And generally, you settle in, and the people, especially at Navarro, is a very welcoming experience for a first festival set. I wouldn't want to do it at any other place. Everyone there is so loving and supportive. So by about song two, I was vibing, and to be able to have a good time up there and see other people's faces light up and be a little bit of a light in this world. It was really incredible and special.
Yeah, man. And side note, got to hang with Clemente. Did you get to meet Clemente?
Oh my God, great guy. Incredible
Dude,
dude.
we have still not met. We have been talking for years now since Time dropped.
Dude,
And
he's
I
amazing.
he is another one. Like, watch out for him. That voice, that
Yeah.
songwriting. How was his live show? Was it
Oh
fantastical?
my God, dude. It was one of the highlights for me of the weekend. So good.
Hmm.
Um, he
Interesting.
played at like I think it was like 2 p.m. on Sunday. And I think this was also on purpose by Dan, really smart. Because, Brendan has this really, like you said, like this soulful, this smooth voice. He has these incredible songwriting, incredible tunes.
Stories.
Yes, they're very relaxing and soothing, but also like bangers at the same time. It's like a crazy dichotomy, but definitely like a Sunday evening, afternoon vibe. And so, like, he goes on stage. Sven, actually, our percussionist, sat in with him. They bumped into each other at breakfast. I think Pops was like, "Yo, what if Sven came on?" And Brendan was like, "Oh my God, I need like a percussionist. That'd be great." So Sven played the set with him, and man, it was special. It was really cool. Like, it was just good vibes. People were already kind of settled in. We played Friday, so it was an honor to be like kicking off everything. We're the very first band to play. But by Sunday, everybody, maybe if there's any nerves about being there. Everyone was kind of settled in and doing their thing, they're chilling. So it was just a great vibe. I think people were like flying high after the past couple days, and then coming out, he was like, I think the first or second show on that Sunday. And I just remember like sun was shining. It was like perfect temperature. Everybody there was chilling, and he just goes up there and like serenaded us for an
Mhm.
hour with his beautiful voice and told us these stories. Like it was one of my highlights of the weekend for sure. I've seen him once before. That was an incredible show, and yeah, he's got a bright future for sure too.
Yeah, very bright future. Speaking of bright future, man, John, you have a very, very, very well lit, uh, full of stars and galaxies and smiley faces and guitars musical future. I just, we could feel it immediately when you dropped Crazy. I was like, boom, got it. Wow. Like,
Thanks,
just,
dude. I
just
appreciate that.
stupendous. I want to just get into your music a little bit. Let's get in the water
Gotta
for a
get in the
second.
water.
Yeah, let's do it. Hey, you know what is interesting? You said uh Get in the Water was written, we were kind of having a crappy day. And we decided just get in the water and everything was okay. What happened that day?
Yeah, man, Get in the Water is a really special track. It's near and dear to us. All of us, obviously, being beach lovers and ocean lovers, and growing up, and always being involved in some sort of water sports, whether it's surfing or free diving or body surfing, whatever it might be. And all three of us consider ourselves watermen and consider the ocean and the beach like one of our spiritual healing places and somewhere that's really special to us and important to us. So it felt right to make a song, one of our first songs that was about an ocean, about the ocean, and about like it's kind of a nod, uh, just like our love for that place. And it came about in Hawaii actually. I came out for a week to visit Sven, who his brother actually lives right on the North Shore,
Mm,
which is like one of the surfing capitals of the world. It's got the pipeline wave, and all the best surfers live there. And he lives right on the North Shore, right in the thick of everything. So it was my first time in Hawaii. Was loving it. It was like, I mean, just that place is a paradise, and people, it's got a special energy. It is a special place for a reason. And I was like 3 days into the trip, really feeling the mana, the aloha, everything that's beautiful about Hawaii and sacred. And we did start to have a little bit of a stressful day. There was like I think some things in the air about our travel plans and when I was going back. I don't know. It's just one of those like things started to not build up correctly, right? Like everybody has a bad day. We were having a bad day.
mhm.
And it couldn't really break it. until Sven was like, dude, let's just go for a swim. Let's get in the water. Dude, let's just get in the water. And that's like a saying that I feel like is said by anybody that enjoys the ocean, enjoys the beach life. It's like, dude, let's get in the water. And it was so like so simple but like poetic. And we did go for a swimming and we did feeling a lot better after, like completely refreshed, like so stressed out and come out and just like filled with gratitude again and feeling good again. Immediately went to the guitar and like pretty much the first freestyle that we did was the song. And it flowed and it was beautiful. Changed a couple words here and there, but like it really was one of those that was just like a feeling, a really strong feeling of like, man, we love the ocean. It's powerful. Sat down, wrote it, came out, and we're really proud of that track. Yeah. It's one of our favorites for sure. Feels like
Be-
it's a good example of beach fly. Yeah. Thanks for asking
Yeah.
about that.
Oh, dude, absolutely. I always think the best music is written uh, in the highest of highs and the lowest of lows,
Right.
and very, very quickly. It comes out very fast.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
some of my favorite songs I've written like 10 minutes and
Yeah.
gone. And simplicity.
Yes.
You also have a very good knack for keeping it simple, so it is very relatable to everybody's lives, yet
Mm-hmm.
unique in the sense of, okay, we know it's the fly of the beach.
Sure. Yeah. Definitely. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it. And also I gotta give a huge shout out to Ian Young and Johnny who mixed the tracks and Carter who produced a lot of them. Like they wouldn't sound the way they did without that. I'm very beginner when it comes to my production skills, so any of the professionalness, it's all Ian Young, an incredibly talented artist, musician, producer, so many things. Johnny Cosmic, one of the best to ever do it. Not only shredding with stick figure, but also producing incredibly. He mixed Thinking of You. We're so grateful to him for that, and of course Carter for being the producer on a lot of these tracks. Like big shout out to them for all of those. Yeah, they wouldn't sound the way they did if it wasn't for them.
Not too bad, John, for your first couple tracks having
I know,
the
right? Crazy,
legendary Ian Young
crazy.
Imperial Sound
I
Studios up in
know.
Imperial Beach. I don't know. You've been to his studio. It's like you can see Mexico from his house. It's so
Really?
crazy.
No, I've never been. No, yeah.
Yeah, man. And then you got Cosmic, the alien himself. You got Carter, who's just this mystical, magical person. I don't know what it is. I just there's something about Carter, man. There's this feeling. I don't know. We
I
both
know.
agree, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
100%.
we love you, Carter. We love you, Johnny. We love you, Ian. We love everybody because the
Yes,
family is always better. What together, man? And
you.
you are so in, man. We're having a wonderful chat with John of 2 Minute Podcast and now Beachfly, his new project. So a few more questions for you, and then we're gonna get out of here. We got to do some
Yeah, dude.
plugs, man. I know it's at Beachfly Music on the socials. You got 3 or 4 music videos up. You've got merch that just dropped, 100% uh, sustainable from
Yes, sir.
recycled
Yes, sir.
everything. You're planning on in kind of Carter's footsteps, donating some of your profits as well to beach cleanup foundations. Man, you're just doing everything so damn right. Tell us what
Ah,
you got coming up and how everybody can just follow up and find you and love you and give you big hugs via the internet.
thanks, dude. Yeah, the merch was really important to us to make it sustainable, and it's 100% recycled. It's 100% organic cotton. And yes, we're donating a portion of the profits to beach cleanup organizations. Just something really important to us. We wanted to make sure if we're making our first merch drop, to do it right, to make sure that people can know that they're supporting something that's not going to be wasteful. It's not going to harm the planet. We love the ocean. We love the beach. It's really important to us. We didn't want to be making a negative impact, if anything, when selling merch. So I'm so glad you brought that up. That's really important to us. Yeah, you can find it all. It's a Beachfly Music on Instagram. That's mostly where we're active. All the videos go up there. TikTok a little bit too. Got to do the TikTok game. It's content nowadays, baby. So you'll find the content over there. No website yet. Working on that though. But yeah, Instagram's the most important, I'd say, for us. You can find all of our stuff there. And if you really want to dive deep, we have a number that you can text, and we all check it, and we'll text you back. And for anybody that's really interested and wants to reach out, it's in the link in our bios there. You can find it. It's a lay low link, and basically text us and we can text you and just stay in touch, let you know about giveaways over there, any new music. But yeah, everywhere's at Beachfly Music.
Yeah, dude. And guess what? Let me put my spectacles on.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
you are going on tour with Surfer Girl.
Woohoo!
Dude, how
Yeah.
wild was that? Like,
I
you
know,
know,
another crazy thing. Another
God,
crazy thing.
just
Again, I can't give enough props to Carter. He's changed my life. We yeah, we produced these songs and we stayed in touch. Came out a couple more times to his studio and made some tracks together. Had some incredible sessions. And then I don't know, this is maybe like 3 or 4 months ago. I'm out there and I was in LA staying with a friend a couple days before I was gonna go over to Carter for a day. And he just calls me up, whatever. We're talking about like I'm like eating a shawarma and I'm like, oh dude, yeah, shawarma's good. Just like shooting the crap. And
pre-show
he's
poop.
like, oh dude, I texted you this attachment, bro. You should check it out. And I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't know if it's like a song or what. I go and open it, and it's a spreadsheet of all the tour dates. And he's like, he's like, dude, yeah, you're opening for us if you want. I'm like, what how are you so
You're opening
nonchalant
for
about this?
us. There's no
I don't know if he
request.
worded like that, but he's like so
You're
nonchalant
doing it.
about it. So like, and I'm like sitting there in this like LA shawarma shop, just like freaking the frick out, bro.
Mm,
Like what the heck is going on? Yeah, really special moment. We're so blessed and so honored that he chose us. We're really fresh to this. Just have like 4 singles out so far, although we will be putting out music consistently and we have a lot of music coming up that we're really excited about. But yeah, we're fresh to this game, and so the fact that he's believing in us like this and doing something as big as taking us out on tour. And it's a really great tour too. We're hitting the whole East Coast. We're going from Vermont down to Florida, and then a Midwest run from Chicago. We're hitting like St. Louis, Nashville, out by you. I think like
mhm.
Madison, Wisconsin. Like
I'd have
we're
to
going
skip through
everywhere.
that one.
Yeah, and it's really special. We're stoked about it with Coyote Island. Again, those boys are awesome, and we got to hang for the first time at Navarro, and they're really just dope humans. Like just cool dudes. Not only great musicians, but like really good hangs, kind-hearted, genuine individuals. All of Carter's camp is the same way. So like I couldn't ask for a better first tour, and I'm just stoked about it. Super grateful. I hope to see you guys out there if you can make it. Would love to
Yeah.
say hi and
Oh
jam.
yeah.
And yeah, it'd be a good time.
Absolutely. Yeah. Surfergirlmusic.com, at Surfergirl,
Yes.
at Beachfly. Check it out, man. Ooh, what a great bill that is. You got Beachfly, then you got Coyote Island, and then you
Yeah.
got the Like a Tic Tac special headlining the tour.
I know,
I
dude.
can't, that track, man, motion
Like a
is
tic tac.
like a tic tac. Boom.
Like a tic tac.
That was a good one at Redwoods, that first
Banger.
show we did. That was so funny, man. Dude, it has been such a blast and a half and a quarter. Like so much fun
Dude, this is
kicking it
great.
with you today, John. Yeah, like really, really, really dig your vibe. It was great to finally meet at Redwoods. Bobby Alou.
Legend.
We interviewed him a while back, and he was talking about the threads of life. Follow the threads of life.
Yeah.
And we really got into that. And he's such a special one, man. You talk about another special one. Uh, and he was like, you never know what's going to happen. So just kind of let it flow and follow those threads, because this thread could lead to that thread, which could lead to a knot, but which could also lead to a ball of yarn, which could lead to a whole entire t-shirt, which could eventually lead to a whole entire
Right,
life
yeah.
outfit. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
And it's crazy that your story just sounds just like right up that alley.
100%, dude. Yeah.
It just follow, just go with the flow. Remember, you got to figure it out no matter what, because the show will
Right.
go on. But
Yeah.
just feel it out. Man, I
Yeah,
got
dude.
two more questions. One, and then we'll do the final one. Fly high today. That's your motto. Tell us about that. What is that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. First of all, yeah, Bobby Lou's great. He was one of my favorite guys to talk to. And the
Amazing.
thread is like we talked about that same topic and it hit me as well, dude. I can relate. Like I could have never imagined all this stuff happening. And it, yeah, definitely like just that let it flow and let it go. We like to talk about that a lot. And we like to talk about fly high today a lot as well. That is our motto. It's what we try to live by. It basically means like try to be the best version of yourself every day. Obviously, it's hard to. Every day you gotta wake up and try to be the best version of yourself, and it takes work. It takes, I'm on a journey every day. Everyone's on the journey every day to try to be your best self. But basically, it's like, put that effort in to try to fly high, be the best version of yourself, fly above the bad vibes, sit in the good vibes if you can, try to spread those good vibes if you can, fly high, be the best version of yourself. It's our motto. It's what we try to live by, and it works out with Beach Fly. So, yeah, we're stoked on that motto. Fly high today.
At Beach Fly Music. These you guys better recognize because John and Sven and Pops are coming in hot. Uh, the kettle's already warmed up for you guys, man. I
Thank you, dude.
cannot wait to see what the future holds for you guys. I see you guys out there doing it for real, doing it.
Thanks, bro.
And we always got your back. Every time I interview somebody or we conversate with somebody,
Mm-hmm.
they get the same question. So it is your turn again, John. It's been an absolute blast. What does reggae mean to you?
Reggae means love. It means family. It means healing. And above all else, I'd say it means just a freaking good time.
I love it, man. It's always a different answer, man. I love the end of that one. It's always just a good freaking time. It
That's a good
sure
time, dude.
is,
Any
man.
show you're at, it's always a good time. You're partying. You got good people
Yeah,
in it.
you know it.
You're good people. Everyone's good people. It's a good time, man.
Hey, you got a back pocket full of love. Remember that. And we got one right here for you too. Back pocket full of love. We love you. We love Surfer. We love the whole family. Uh, that's it for
Thank you,
us,
dude.
man.
Dude,
Please stay in
thank you so
touch.
much.
Please stay in touch.
100%.
And we can't wait to
100%,
see
dude.
what happens, man. You're going to be a superstar.
Oh, dude. We'll try our best. But I appreciate you, bro. Like, thank you for having me on. I think this is one of the first interviews I've done, at least talking about beach fly and stuff. Is interesting to be in the other seat. Usually I'm asking the questions, but this was a great time. I had a blast. And I appreciate you having me on your show, dude. It means a lot. And yeah, thank you, dude. Thank you.
Peace and love. We'll see you on the road.
Peace, guys. You. Oh, and make sure. Hey, let me say this. If you're not a subscriber yet, subscribe, follow Simmer Down Central, man. This is the spot to be. Check out all the newest reggae artists, reggae music, everything that's good in the scene. Simmer Down is your place to be. You.
And the 2 minute podcast is right next to me, baby. Let's go.
Oh, here we go.
I've been catching friction all day. Yeah, I kick my feet up on the sun. Yeah, I've been feeling it the wrong way. The truth is, no one knows what will come. And it's okay to look at the past, just don't stare at it too long. If you don't like the melody, you can rewrite your own song. I could take you places, we can go where no one's gone. Get our feet in the sand, start over again. Yeah, you got this, I see clearly. It just might be this easy. You got this, I've been saying it for a long time.